This podcast is facilitated by the World Karate Federation as part of its mission to promote and inform about karate globally. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily reflect the official position of the WKF.
I just have to try my best, have a good tactical plan and fight. And ultimately at the end of the day, anyone can win on the day.
It's going to be interesting to see how some athletes handle it.
How do you think that this new pool system, making sure it's an elite group of athletes, do you think it has a massive effect on the results?
The fact that 2 are progressing instead of 1 means there's a 50-50 chance of getting out the pool and progressing to the next elimination stage. So but I think from athletes' point of view, it's a fantastic way forward.
Yes, hello, this is the World Karate Cast. My name is Mitchell Durham, here as always with Nathan Blockley, bringing to you the official podcast of the WKF, the World Karate Cast. And as they say in Hungary, Szia Baratok.
I love it. I just, how many times did you listen to Google say that aloud?
Honestly, none. I swear, I just was looking at the pronunciation breakdown and I feel like I got it right. So this is a shout out to our first YouTube comment, which was sick on the WKF YouTube channel. Someone said, "I'm from Hungary. Can you please comment a greeting in Hungarian?" So that's what we're doing every episode. I would like to increase my international vocabulary and greet as many people as we can in as many languages. So today it's Hungarian, which I felt good about that one.
Honestly, it sounded very good. Like, I can try to make fun of you, but it actually sounded very good. So I congratulate you on that. But yeah, just comment on the YouTube video and say what you want Mitch to say in the next pod, you know?
This is the second episode of the World Karate Cast and it feels awesome to be back again. I hope everyone loved the first one. I hope everyone gave us the feedback of what they liked and what they didn't like, as we're growing this podcast for the WKF, and I'm just so excited to see where this goes. So we've got a special guest on today, Niamh Junner from Scotland, who's going to talk about all things about the new World Championship format, the Paris qualification event, and how things are completely different for that space. It's wild.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good episode because it gives us an opportunity to convey some information that a lot of our audience might not know of. You know, this is a completely new format that we're seeing in the qualification event and the World Championships at the end of the year. And we have a karate superstar to discuss it with us today as well. So it's just a, great purpose of this podcast is to convey this sort of information because a lot's changing in the world of karate right now.
A lot is changing. Some recent events that have happened at the moment is the Series A in Salzburg. The first senior event since the Premier League in Rabat, which was the 30th of May, 1st of June weekend.
God, it's a long time, isn't it?
It's wild. It's like, it feels like everyone's had such a big break, but there's been a lot of junior events, which is great. Yeah. I love seeing all the different continental championships as well, but a lot of junior stuff. But this is the first senior event since the Premier League in Rabat. How crazy.
It's crazy. And like the top 32 as well haven't had that opportunity to compete at Salzburg. They will at the next Series A in Malaysia. But even Salzburg, there were some amazing finals. If you haven't seen them, check them out on the WKF YouTube channel. If you want to see us watch them, maybe that's a thing we could do in the future as well, because I love commentating over finals. It's one of my favourite things to do, watch fights. So yeah.
It's great. Big news in the Guardian Girls space.
What is it, Mitchell?
Do you not know?
I think it's on the run sheet.
It's on the run sheet, we know. Actually, from our home country, which is some pretty big news. We talked about last episode, just talking about the initiative, but this is actually some massive inroads. We've had an official signing with Guardian Girls and Karate Australia to officially implement the program in the country. How sick is that?
That is amazing because, we discussed how we had 17 females come and do the course with Amy Connell in Adelaide at our nationals, and they got qualified and they're going back to their communities to pass on that knowledge. This is just saying that our national federation is backing this entire initiative, which is so important for sending this message out to the communities. And I believe this is a deal that's in every state as well, because we're a big nation. We're not a small nation at all. We've got 5 different states and it's all around. So yeah,
it's a big 4 to 5 hour flight to get across the country for those that didn't know their geography of Australia. So count your lucky stars, those that can just drive to the next country in Europe. So
it's really rough for us.
But yeah, with this, there's new opportunities to develop all the Guardian Girls activities in the country, seminars, taster sessions, and long-term courses, and especially the most important thing that you mentioned, which was the instructor courses. So I think it's a really awesome opportunity for Australia to jump onto that, and hopefully we see more countries sign those deals.
Yeah, I wonder where the next one will be.
Now, let's get into what we're here to talk about. The new World Championship, Senior World Championship format. So traditionally, it's been individuals and teams in the same week, a massive week of karate. Honestly, probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. But they're moving towards, the WKF is now moving towards splitting the individuals and the teams across 2 championships on alternate years. So last year was the first one of that with the Team World Cup in Pamplona. And this year is the first edition of the individual Senior World Championships.
And this is such a great opportunity for spectators, isn't it? Like, I raved about it last year on our Kaizen Culture Pod, how good the World Karate Cup initiative is. It's like a complete standalone event where it's just team events. And then back to back, we've always got something to watch as the individuals this year. So, yeah, just making that more selective. And for the spectators, it's not a 5-day event. That's a lot to tune into. So yeah, just more condensed, and the quality is higher as well, limiting it to the top 32 for the World Championships.
Yeah, I'm just so excited to see the rollout of this one, very similar to the Premier League format where you got the groups and the pools stages, and then it goes into the elimination system, which we'll talk about with Neve later on in the episode. But it's the same divisions, you know, for the female divisions, you've got the kata, minus 50, 55 kilograms, 61, 68, plus 68. Male kata, minus 60, minus 67, minus 75, minus 84, and plus 84 kilograms. And then we also still have the Para Karate World Championships as well for male and female, both disciplines, K10, K21, K30, and K22.
I can't wait to see those divisions. I remember seeing it in Budapest 2023, and it's just so inspirational to see those athletes step out on the mat, and it's just as competitive. They're going at it. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing that in Cairo at the end of the year.
Now, we'll get into the qualification process because, as you said before, there's only 32 athletes that are allowed to go, when historically you'd see over 100 people sometimes in each division. So how does one qualify for the World Championships at the end of the year, Nathan?
Well, I mean, the world champion has to have a spot, doesn't he?
Really?
Yeah, they've got to. They've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first spot that's allocated in the top 32 is the previous world champion of the last World Championships. Yep, there it is on the screen. And then we've got 8 spots allocated to the World Championship standing. So that's the top 8 athletes in the division get a spot. And then it's the Continental Championships. That's allocated 14 slots, so across the different continents. And then the National Federation, who's hosting the World Championships, also gets a spot. So that will be Egypt in this case.
Mm-hmm. Then there was a lot of spots there for the Continental Championships. The way it works is for every continent, it's first, second, and third, except for the Oceania Federation, which we just get the top 2 spots. So it's quite a lot for every continent, but I think it's a great spread there. And you know, you'll notice the last 2 little qualification spots were blurred out, and that is because there's 8 spots that still need to be filled up, and this is where the Paris Qualification Tournament comes in, which is huge. I remember when we were going through the Paris Olympic Qualification Tournament process, and just the energy around it was insane, and the pressure and the vibes was just super crazy. And the pressure that you put yourself under, it really prepares you. So the people that qualified for the Olympics through that process, I don't know, I feel like they had an edge. So this tournament is insane.
Yeah, it's like a Series A, but a standalone event, like the king of the Series A tournaments, because you've already qualified a lot of the best athletes in the world, and this is who wants those last 6 spots, and it's going to be a battle.
Now, with the Olympic Qualification Tournament, there was a gold, silver, and bronze medalist. And
surely we've got the same for this, no?
No. I thought it was like this. I found out that there's 6 spots. There's no actual winners. This is a full-on qualification event. And if you bring the graphic up on the screen there, you'll see that the 6 spots there go to the qualification tournament, and we'll go into talking about those quota spots. But there's a group stage, and they'll fight it off round robin style. They'll progress through, and then there'll be one more match to decide whoever gets that spot, so there's 6 spots from each division that qualify.
That is crazy. That's going to be so good.
It's insane. And then the last 2 spots are the universality places, which is the continental distribution. So if there is a lacking representation from each some certain continental region, then there's a process that allows for those spots to be filled up.
Yep. And we haven't mentioned it yet. It's a bit self-explanatory for those in the karate world already, but national federations can only have 1 athlete per division in these competitions. So we can't have 2 from Australia, even though we really want it.
I know.
We're only limited to 1, so yeah. And then there's replacement in there, which just adds another layer. It's something we might get into later, but it's like if the world champion is Egyptian, another Egyptian in the same division can't qualify, even if they're in the top 8 of the same division, even if they win the European Championships, African Championships, my bad. Even if they win the African Championships, they can't qualify. So there's, just that other layer.
That's so rough, yeah. And there's quite a few interesting things that I was picking up on as well, like a couple of world champions that have retired, so it goes to the silver medalist. Or in the top 8 that are currently in the World Championship standing are not sort of competing anymore, or maybe injured, so it's lucky enough that it jumps down to the next person, and then it keeps rolling forward as well with the Continental Championships. First or second or third might not want to go to the World Championships for whatever reason, then it goes down a spot. I just think it's wicked.
It is.
It's just, I think it's amazing.
It creates some storylines potentially, hey? Like, just imagine if somebody qualifies through Paris and then they get to a medal bout of the World Championships. That's going to be insane. I can't wait.
It's very cool. We'll go through this Paris qualification tournament, right? So these are the athletes that are not qualified through any of the things that we've seen before that on the screen, which is the world champion, the world championship standing, the continental championships, or the national host, the national federation host. Provided that you don't have one of those countries qualified in that spot before that, you get a spot and to be able to register for this event. Like we said, there was 6 places for this division. Now, this could be like 100 people worth. So many countries could be going into it.
And it's pool play.
Yeah.
So there could be 120, I think it is 128 is max.
Oh.
There's 24 pools.
There could be a maximum of 24 pools.
And then you can have 6 athletes per pool.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 times 24, quick math.
No.
Nah.
Not
I think it's 144, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I'm not a maths guy.
I'm pretty sure you can have 144 athletes in the same event.
Surely not. That's crazy.
And then it's pool play as well.
Yeah, but
which is crazy.
We'll see how those numbers turn out. I'm not sure exactly when the registration closes for that. It's pretty soon.
And it is the same, only one representative from a national federation who doesn't already have an athlete going to World Championships can register for this. So I said the maximum is 144. I don't know if we have 144 nations to fill those spots.
Yeah, that's true.
So it definitely they can be some big divisions, but we're not going to say that big.
No.
But it has potential.
Has potential. It would be sick. It would be awesome to watch it.
Would be amazing. If there's anything that you don't quite understand from what we've just said, because it's hard to listen, especially if you're not watching, you don't get the visual aids. Maybe go watch on YouTube.
I'm struggling even, and I've got it all here.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are struggling, Mitchell,
yes,
just comment on the YouTube video.
Okay. And
then we'll answer your question. Just whatever you're struggling with, just comment below. It's okay. It's okay.
Still stressed. I'm still stressed. No, that's good. All right. Now we'll cross over to Niamh Junner from Scotland to welcome her into the podcast. All right, we are welcoming into the podcast Niamh Junner from Scotland. female kumite plus 68 representative, 8-time national champion, 5-time British champion, double Commonwealth champion under 21 and senior, Youth League silver medalist, world number 1 in under 21s plus 68 kilograms. I didn't know that. That was wild. That's very, very cool. Under 21 European silver and bronze medalist, and 2-time bronze medalist at the World Championships in juniors in Santiago 2019 and under 21s Konya 2022. Welcome, Neve. That's an insane rap sheet there.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Just brushing over that resume like it's nothing. That is very, very good. You got to be super proud of that. And I'm not sure you're still quite young, Neve. So you got a long career ahead of you still to fill that up.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a really successful kind of end of junior into under 21, and then unfortunately COVID hit. So I won my silver medal at the under 21 Europeans, and then everything went into lockdown for at least a year and a half. So everything kind of stopped, and now I'm 23. I'm back competing at the WKF and going to the World Championships. So it's great.
That's real. It was a really hard time for a lot of people, wasn't it? Like, I know a lot of people lost momentum, but you've picked it straight back up. I mean, qualifying, you're now rank 8 in the World Championships ranking. You got that qualification spot for the World Championships. So congratulations, first of all. That's an incredible achievement.
There we go. Congratulations, Neve. You're going to the Worlds.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And I think it's such a privilege for us to be able to interview an up-and-comer. Like, as you said, you've had success at the junior level and you're just looking to make your mark on the senior level, and we're getting you before you reach that fame and stardom. So
remember us before you get too famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll definitely remember to mention you when I'm on the top of the podium.
Now, before we get going, I just wanted to ask one question. Did you watch the first podcast episode?
Yeah, I did. It's amazing.
Very nice. Did you tune in? You didn't comment where you were listening it from.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't comment that I was listening from Scotland.
We're gonna start with a little game first, Neve. It's the classic keep 2 and cut 3.
Have you seen these on Instagram?
I've not actually.
Oh, this might be nice and fresh.
Well, we're going to bring up something on the screen here, and you've got 5 techniques to choose from. We're going to have the Ura Mawashigeri, we're going to have the Kizamazuki, the counter Jordan Gyakuzuki, the Churan Gyakuzuki, and then the Churan Mawashigeri. Now, I'm actually not quite sure what your favourite techniques are. I know I've watched you a lot in the Premier Leagues, and I'm just not really attentive, I guess. But I'm not sure what your favourite techniques are, but you have to cut 3 of these things out. You're not allowed to use these for a year, and you have to keep 2.
Okay. This is actually quite an easy decision for me because I don't really kick much. So straight away probably Chudan Mawashigeri's out, and then also Ura. So then it's deciding between the last 3 hand techniques. Chudan Yakizuki is one of my favourite techniques. It's one of my best techniques, so that's definitely staying. So then it's between Kizami and then counter Jodan. But Rulo probably listening, and he's one of my coaches, and he normally hates when I do counter Jodan because I'm normally second and I normally lose the point. So it will have to be Kizami off the front foot for timing and anticipation. They're my 2.
So we're locking in the Kizami and then the Chudan Gyakuzuki. That was quick. I thought we were going to put more pressure on you.
Yeah, I love it. They're fundamentals. They're fundamentals, Neve. But you can't score an ippon. And when we're not talking the takedown Gyakuzuki, you don't get that. So you can't score an ippon, and you're just going to roll with the yukos.
Yeah, I mean, you had Elena on last episode, and she's the queen of yuko. So
you got me.
You can win a world championships.
Yep, I get
1-0.
I get it.
So I think if you do the basics well, then you can be an amazing all-round athlete.
I've been called out live on the podcast. You had me there, Neve. I think you made the right choice, that's for sure.
Very good. So, Neve, we've just been talking about the World Championship format. I'm keen to get your thoughts because you've competed in the old system where it was just straight-up elimination for both junior and senior level. What are your thoughts? You've been competing on the Premier League stage now, which has the round-robin system, and it will emulate very similar that system there. So what are your thoughts on the new round-robin system for the World Championships? Only top 32 athletes, or there's only 32 athletes that go. But yeah, just give us your thoughts on the whole process and system.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, the change towards the round robin format. Like you said, it's replicating the Premier Leagues, which has been a massive part of the qualification system in order to get to Cairo in one of those 8 standing spots. But the fact that it's not a knockout anymore, I know when I was younger and also in Budapest, it's very stressful as an athlete because you're starting your first round, and if you lose, unfortunately, most of the time you're out, unless your athlete that's won against you gets to the final. So I think the fact that you've got 3 fights, you could ultimately lose your first match and still progress through the pool, which is great. And also the fact that 2 are progressing instead of 1, normally at the Premier Leagues, means there's a 50-50 chance of getting out the pool and progressing to the next elimination stage. So yeah, as an athlete, I'm so happy it's changed to that. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I think from athletes' point of view, it's a fantastic way forward for the Senior Worlds.
We definitely have seen, especially in the Premier Leagues, like anyone can make it out of the pool as well. Like, so it does create those stories and it does give second chances. And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just so good for the entertainment value of the sport. The Premier League has been a massive thing. And I feel like on a side note, the WKF is definitely doing a bit of like rebranding in the way that they do things. And with this, it's just adding to the spectator friendliness of the sport, and it's fantastic with athletes as well. So it's a win-win scenario. No, I'm all for it with you, Neve.
Yeah, definitely. I think the WKF have made a massive push on social media as well. We got profile pictures in Paris at the first event of this year, so there's been much more content creation. They've asked to follow us on social media, so when they promote us, they can collaborate and post. So yeah, they're putting a massive drive towards promoting this World Championships and it being the first of this new format. So yeah, it's such a great initiative from the WKF.
How do you think that this will impact results at the World Championships? I know you sort of said you get the second chance, and we don't see, maybe we might not see some of the lower ranked countries competing, but how do you think that this new shift towards the pool system and making sure it's an elite group of athletes at this our highest event in the world, how do you see it sort of shaping up, and do you think it has a massive effect on the results?
I think always at World Championships there's always surprises. Some athletes come out and are just on fire, like nobody's touching them, nobody's beating them. But the way the format of this new World Championships, in order for you to fight in a medal match and win a medal, you need to be fighting across 3 days. So the consistency needs to be there. And I really value the word consistency overall as like an athlete, especially in senior, because you look at these rankings as well, and over the qualification period when all the athletes have been building points, it's those athletes who've been consistently medaling or getting results at Premier Leagues and Continental Championships who are going. So it'll be the most consistent fighters over those 3 days, and also those who can maintain their physical and mental focus throughout those 3 days, because I think everybody will come prepared to the championships. I don't doubt that, because it's one of the biggest events in some athletes' careers. But it's going to be that mental focus that's going to differentiate the athletes when it comes to the later rounds, and definitely the medal matches as well.
That was so well said, Neve. That was so well said, and it's so true. I don't know if we've seen in the world of karate having to perform on 3 days. You know, there was a big switch when world tournaments and tournaments started introducing like final Sundays. So you qualify for the finals during your day of event where the rounds and the eliminations are, and then you do final Sunday. Now we've got 3 days that you have to compete, because you've got all the pool systems on one day, and then I think it's on the Friday, I believe, maybe the Saturday, that you have all the quarterfinals and semi-finals, and then you've got final Sunday again. So it's like 3 days you got to be on the top of your game, and across 4 or 5 days you need to be mentally there as well and physically there ready. So yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how some athletes handle it.
Now we've got to talk about the Paris qualification event. Did you attend the Olympic qualifier back in 2021?
No, I just turned 18, and because I wasn't able to compete at any of the events, I didn't have any sort of ranking points.
Right.
And we also compete as GB for the Olympics, So it was Amelia Harvey from England that she went. She was a really experienced competitor in plus, and I was just a baby in the category. So unfortunately didn't go, but I did watch it thoroughly, and it was a fantastic tournament. So the fact they're going back to this qualification system again, it's definitely going to be a treat for everyone who's watching.
Yeah, you have two athletes attending from Scotland. You have Amy Connell in minus 55 kilogram category and Adam Hamill from the minus 60 kilogram category. Do you have any insight on how they're feeling? Because it's a pretty intense event. Do you have any sort of rundown of where they're at and what they're thinking leading into this tournament, this qualification event?
Well, I've actually not had the chance to speak to them. I've been abroad training most of the summer and starting my preparations for Cairo. But Amy, she's a really experienced competitor, and she's been competing for a lot of years, so I think she'll take the tournament in her stride. I don't think it'll phase her too much. Adam, he's only 20, but he is the current under-21 European champion in minus 60. So he's going to the tournament with absolutely no expectation on him for anything, but he's got the chance to make a huge upset and bag his ticket to join me in Cairo in November.
Wicked.
And sometimes that's the best way to be, isn't it? If you don't have an expectation going into a big event like that, it can take the pressure off a little bit, and you can fight more natural and closer to your, more aligned with who you are as a fighter. You know, it doesn't affect you in any other way.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's going to be great seeing a lot of probably younger athletes getting the chance to come to this qualification event, because we're used to seeing the top athletes fight for qualification spots and medals, and they're so professional. So it'll be nice to see whether the younger athletes can cope with the pressure of the tournament and whether they can take that opportunity and shine on the stage to qualify for the main event in November.
Now, we're going to bring up the scenario for the 6 groups, where there's 6 groups of the qualification tournament. And as you can see here, it's better with the graphic. You've got 6 pools, and they'll be built up of between 3 or 6 athletes, depending on the numbers. And it'll be a round-robin system. Everyone fights everyone, and there will eventually be a winner and a second place runner-up that qualify, and they move through to the qualification phase. 1 will versus 2 across the different pools, and that is the last stage to then get the quota spot. It gives me chills.
It's like having 6 finals per event.
Yeah.
And then you've got 12 events.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do some more quick math for you. That's 72 finals, Mitchell.
The pressure's there, and Neve, you've made it out of the pool a couple of times at the Premier Leagues, and you've competed for medal events, medal matches at the Premier Leagues. Just what does that feel like when you exit out of the pool, and you know that, all right, well, I've got a chance now to fight for a medal? Because in the Premier League system, if you happen to lose the correct match for that person to make it into the final, then you could be straight away into the bronze medal match. What's your mindset going into it, and sort of talk about how can some of these athletes sort of get ready for that moment there of this is the one where you have to perform?
Yeah, I think the mindset in the full Premier League is obviously just trying to get out the pool. So I think once you've done that and made that achievement, then especially for me, I just throw everything at it, obviously in a controlled manner, but there's nothing to lose for me. Most of the times when I come out the group, I've come out of a pool that's maybe not seeded. So I'm coming up against, for example, Maria Torres from Spain, Johanna Knier from Germany, Cleo from Italy. So you are starting to come up against some of the top girls in your category. So there's no expectation on me or any of the other girls who are fighting the top athletes in the category. So I just have to try my best, have a good tactical plan, and fight, because the winner goes through, and ultimately at the end of the day, anyone can win on the day. So just having that mental focus and being able to push through those 3 minutes and try and come out victorious to push through to get into the medals.
I love that mindset, Neve, and it's so true, because you've proven yourself within the pool. There's no reason why you should feel any different when you have that one match to decide your qualification for Cairo or not. You know, you've proven yourself. So I don't know, Mitchell, do you have a bit of thoughts on this? Because when you got through the pool system in Rabat in 2023, you versed Nurkin in your pool, and he was ranked 2 in the world at the time. Mm-hmm. And so you'd proven yourself in the pool. How did you feel going into the semi-finals? the quarterfinals?
Yeah, look, like I fought Stephen Pokorny from Austria, also decorated athlete, and yeah, Nurkanat in the that fight, and I don't know, I think I was just super stoked to be there, and I was like, all right, well, here's a good opportunity to potentially go further, and yeah, it was more of just like throw all what you have at this situation, and
In a controlled manner.
As Neve said. But yeah, just don't think too much. It was pretty, because this was it was the first Premier League that I've done in that system where it was like the pool, and all the Premier Leagues before that was elimination. So it was just awesome to be a part of it when all the four tatamis were lined up with all of the quarterfinals from the division. So you're standing there and they call your name out and you're like, well, this is really cool. And you just try and lock in. And once they say Hajime, it's just another match of 3 minutes. You're fighting another country and you just got to give it your best shot. But it's funny, like, because it was the first edition of this pool system. When I lost that match, I just thought I was done. And then I went back to the hotel and someone was like, "Oh, congratulations, you're fighting for bronze." I was like, "Oh, I lost." Like I thought that the semi-finalist losers would fight off for bronze, like like in the Olympics and the World Games. So I just thought I was done. And then they're like, "Yeah, you're fighting for bronze on the weekend." And I was like, "What?"
If only there was a World Karate Cast before that event, you would have understood the qualification and how it works.
Absolutely.
It's a privilege for people listening today. Yeah, so that's what we've got. It's just feel privileged to be there.
Yep.
You know, you've already proven yourself in the pool system and throw it all out there in a controlled manner.
That's good. Follow those steps and you'll be world champion, I guess.
You at least make it to Cairo.
Yeah, we'll make it to Cairo. But that's pretty intense. I think you'd be pretty stiff or pretty unlucky to get to the qualification event and then you realise you have to do the 24 pools, like the 24 groups, because you have to do an extra step. So you make it out of your pool. And then not only you have to do that match, and then you have to go another one after that. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, and I think that's a great opportunity to have a callback to episode 1 of the World Karate Cast, where Array was talking about visualization, mindset. Mm-hmm. Maybe before the qualification event, run through those scenarios so you're not surprised on the day. Mm-hmm. Because if you go in there thinking, God, I hope it's not 24 pools, and then it is 24 pools, that can affect you mentally. So
absolutely.
Yeah, there's going to be mental games everywhere in this tournament, I reckon.
Mm-hmm. Now, Neve, we're going to skip to something now, and we've talked a lot about the karate stuff, and I know you love the stats, you follow all the Premier Leagues and everything like that. It's actually quite interesting because I want to get your insights of why you love it and why you're such a karate nerd, you know, not just performing and training and getting the best out of it, but I know that you love keeping updated with all the tournaments and all the rankings. Like, you talk about it all the time. Like, is it just that you love karate that much? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, since I only started karate when I was 9, and I didn't start competitions until I was 12, which some people would probably think is quite late. But when I kind of started, that love of karate's just kind of grown. So technically I'm only kind of 11 years into the competition side. And then I got my first cap when I was 15 for the national team. But I just love it. I'm always watching matches on YouTube, following the events if I'm not there. If I am there, Mitchell, you've seen me at the Premier Leagues writing down the scores and stuff. But yeah, I know everything about every category. You could ask me a question, I probably would be able to tell you the answer. But yeah, I just love the sport, and it doesn't feel like a chore or like a task. Like, I enjoy researching and I enjoy finding out about stuff. And once you start competing at the Premier Leagues, it's the same people you see in the circuit, so you start to make friendships, and it's really one big karate family. So you feel like such a big part of a community. So that's kind of another reason why I follow it like so closely, and I think I'll continue to follow it even when I stop my competitive career, hopefully as a coach, or keeping my hand still in at WKF level.
Do you have any aspirations to step into that coaching role, and can you see yourself being the coach of Scotland one day?
I mean, I'm only 23. I mean, I'm hoping that's my coaching career's not for a long time. Yeah, if I can get into my late 20s at competing at such a high level, then I'll be absolutely ecstatic with that. But yeah, never say never with the coaching career. I'm also studying to be a physiotherapist, so I've got other kind of channels and challenges along the way. But yeah, I think karate will always be a big part of my life, even when I've stopped.
That's awesome.
Competing.
Yeah, you don't need to think about coaching for a long time until you're like at least Mitchell's age, you know. So I had to. It was low hanging fruit. Low hanging fruit.
You're older than me.
Yeah, but I'm not competing anymore. I'm already a coach, mate.
Yeah.
I've taken that step.
So you've touched on that, the physiotherapy stuff. It'd be interesting for us to talk about that to the rest of the karate community, something that's outside of the tatami. So obviously you love fixing people's injuries. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I did my undergraduate degree in anatomy. So that's just kind of learning about the full human body. When I was kind of 2 years into that, I realised I wanted to do physiotherapy. So I'm doing a master's at the moment. That's a 2-year degree. So I'm doing that alongside preparing to fight in the World Championships in Cairo. But again, it's just giving me a backup option for when I'm finished my competitive career, that I can still be at the tournaments treating injuries. So Mitch, if you're still competing when I'm not fighting, I'll be your physio for you to keep you tip-top shape for all those injuries when you're older.
Very good. I'll definitely be calling you first. That's great.
Yeah.
Mitchell will be calling you like this year.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel all these little pains every now and again. Nah.
Is it you want to sort of specialise in sport, Neve, or is it sort of physiotherapy in general, or?
No, I think sport is kind of the route I want to go down. I had one of my placements in university in a private practice, and that was seeing a sort of different range of injuries. But yeah, I think the dream is to be like rugby physio, football physio. I mean, maybe there's going to be positions in karate physios in the future in different countries. So yeah, the scope's massive, but coming out with my degree, I can then look at specialising in a different sort of field. But yeah, I think sport's the big goal because I want to be involved in it as long as I can, even if I'm not actively competing.
It's in the blood, isn't it? It really is. I do want one more question, Neve, just a random one. What sort of hobbies do you have outside of study, outside of karate? Is there anything that's unique about your hobbies?
I mean, I don't really have much time, like, apart from training and studying. But a fun fact is I'm a massive Arsenal fan. I love football. I love following the Premier League, Champions League, World Cup, anything with football. But I've been an Arsenal fan since I've been around 7. Couldn't tell you why. And they've been not great since we got to the semi-finals of the Champions League last year. But fingers crossed this year we're going to win the league. So that's kind of my big passion outside of karate. When I'm not competing, training, I like to chill and watch the football.
So
the
good.
Gunners. God, that's our comment section is going to go crazy now, because now we've got who's the best EPL team. We had you say soccer or football earlier in the pod as well.
I
So
knew
we're
you
gonna
looked at
start
me.
that debate.
I know
as
you
well.
looked at me. Okay, I said soccer, and I tried to quickly correct it and say football, but I'm sorry.
What is it in your country? That's what we want to know. Because
It's
in
football.
Australia, it is soccer for most people. For me, I'm half English. I have to call it football. What is it
football.
in your country? Yeah, it's football, isn't it, Neve? It's got to
Yeah,
be.
100% football. It's got to be. It's in the blood. It's the national sport in Scotland, and it's one of the most popular for younger boys and girls. But yeah, no, we call it football.
Now, last question, probably the most important of the episode, Neve. Have you seen Karate Kid Legends?
I have indeed. I went to the cinemas to see it not long after it came out, and I have to say it was absolutely amazing. I loved it.
Did you get the nostalgic feeling of like back in the day watching the Karate Kid and just being like, yeah, this is what I want to do? What was the experience like?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I was growing up, it was the Jaden Smith Karate Kid, so that was kind of the one I watched. So seeing another Karate Kids kind of movie coming out and Jackie Chan making another appearance, it was amazing for those nostalgia moments. And it was just a kind of full circle moment that he's then back in it again. And he's just an amazing actor, but also martial artist. So, but seeing karate on that kind of global stage is just, it was amazing. I loved every second of it. And even my brother, who's not even in karate, he thought it was an absolutely fantastic film too.
Yeah, there was a massive surge in karate worldwide when the original came out. And look at this poster, like we're going to put it up on the screen. That is an insane looking poster. And yeah, I think did you see the original Karate Kid, like the one before Jaden Smith?
I've not seen the original one. I've only seen the Jaden Smith one, but yeah, I think there's quite a few versions of the Karate Kid, but all I'd seen before Karate Kid's Legends was the one with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith, so I was just kind of going off my own perception after watching that film. But yeah, definitely, it was great.
You have some homework to do, Neve, because the OG Karate Kid, amazing, and this one, it's a great rendition. So I think just airing karate worldwide, it's so valuable for our sport, and I'm glad you've watched it because it's an incredible movie.
Fantastic. All right, Neve, before we sign off and let you go back to your day playing football and fixing people's knee injuries, anything you'd like to say to the whole karate community just to sign off and just to drop your little bit of knowledge on the world?
Yeah, so I hope that I can inspire younger athletes in Scotland, being from a smaller nation, and also other athletes across the world, that if you believe in yourself and have a good team behind you, that anything's possible. Follow your dreams. And also, the quote I'm living by at the moment is, if you're the best person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So go out your comfort zone, push your boundaries, and it's the only way that you're going to grow and develop. And if your goal is to get to World Championships watching it, then go out your comfort zone. It's the only way to get there.
That is fantastic. I love that one. I was like, oh, damn, that's very good. I like it. Thank you so much, Neve. It's a pleasure to chat to you. We've had a very, very fun episode on this one, and I can't wait to see you in Cairo in November.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
See you later. Bye.
Oh, that was wicked. I had a great time.
That was just hearing that from Neve and how she sees the new structure of these top tier events. I think, and I'll say it again, it's just so good for spectators. I cannot wait for the Paris qualification event and the later one in Cairo at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, well, it is a lot to digest for just one episode, and it probably felt a little bit scrambly in this one, but we're going to be touching on it in the next episode as well, going to a little bit deeper. Hopefully we get someone who's actually going to the event, so that will be very, very cool.
We do. We already have them lined up. I'm not going to say, but we do, yeah.
All right, we have to wait to tune in 2 weeks' time, but other than that, please watch it on the World Karate Federation's YouTube channel. Comment down below which country you're watching it from. We also have a World Karate Cast Spotify account. So if watching is not really a thing and you like to drive and listen, or you're sitting on the train and listening, it's on the World Karate Cast Spotify account, so listen to it there. But other than that, spread the love, tell us which country you're watching from, and hopefully I can try and greet you in your native tongue.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what country it's got to be next week.
Who knows?
Or next fortnight. My apologies.
Yep. But other than that, we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one, Mitch.